Welcome, guys. Thank you, guys, for tuning in right away so early. Appreciate you guys in the live chat right now. We are here. We are back. We are missing. We are one person down, but yeah, we are back. But we are back for another Shonen Ronin episode 16. We are going to be covering Kaiju number 8, My Hero Academia, in Jujutsu Kaisen. So let's show all of our faces right now. Hey guys, how's it going? This is Sam
What's
the
good?
Manga
What's
Man
good?
here. We also have Prince Allah on the left. We have RayApollo on the right. We have James down there and below, and we have LegendDVash all the way in the bottom right there in his car. How you doing, fellas?
Doing
We
good, bro.
good,
Happy to be
baby.
here.
It's good. Yeah, it's good. We had some good chapters this morning. I got up, I had my avocado toast and my coffee, so I'm ready to go.
Hey, there we go. That's a nice way
I
to
had a
start the
grilled
day.
cheese. I was in the mood for grilled cheese today, so it was good.
And I woke up to the power being out, like legit. As I woke up, that was my alarm instead. But
Nice.
then the power came back on, so I could make the show. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah,
That's
so
the worst, dude. I can't sleep without my fan. So it's
Yeah,
like as soon as
that's
it goes
that's how
off,
I
like-
knew. That's how I knew. I'm like, all right. I set my alarm for 8 o'clock so we could do the live reactions, me and Sam. And I'm like, it's like 7:58. I'm like, my alarm's about to go off, and then the fan just turned off, and I said, no, it's not. My alarm is not going off. If the fan just shut down like that, that means there's no power.
That's why I keep the ceiling fan on all the time, baby.
Sorry guys, no live reaction show. It's all good though. We're still covering Shonen Ronins. Like it's a whole team effort here. As long as one of us has power and we can use our smartphones, go on Zoom, we can all talk, we can all discuss, we can all read. We have plenty of time, and these weekly chapters were bangers. Actually, we're gonna
They were.
Yeah.
like even
Except Black Clover.
what happened to Black Clover? Oh wait, it wasn't there.
Oh, it's on break. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said like except Black Clover. Yeah.
But yeah, definitely for sure. We're gonna start with Kaiju number 8 that came out on Thursday, and we don't have to wait for a bi-weekly. No, a new chapter is gonna be coming out this following Thursday.
So soon. So soon.
Yeah, why so soon?
I'm curious.
I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah.
We'll find out. We'll talk about this right now as we cover Kaiju number 8, chapter
Yeah.
43.
Three.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this entire chapter, it was great back-to-back setup. We still continue with Kafka, seeing Kaiju number 9 again, and he is still unable to transform to his Kaiju number 8 suit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Look,
Which we've talked about. It's like, well, what is it? Is it up here? Is it all mental, or is it the physical kaiju in him saying, "Hey, no, man, forget you. You didn't want to let me do my power before, so why would I give it to you now?" I don't know.
It kind of reminded me of when the Hulk didn't want to come out when Bruce kept asking for him to come out back in Infinity War. So
Unfortunately,
like,
that was unfortunate. That means Kaiju number 8 ain't no bitch. Oh my
yeah,
God.
nah.
Yeah.
So
Because I
The
feel like
Hulk was like,
his
nah,
motivations, its motivations are to destroy other kaiju. So it's like
Right.
it wants to fight. So it's like
Uh-huh.
I think it's in Kafka's head. Like
Yep.
he's
Yeah,
mentally,
mental blow.
yeah.
Mhm.
Which
I mean,
would make
we did
sense,
see
you know?
we did see glimpses of it last chapter, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Where he saw himself kind of like transforming and going buck wild.
He lost
So,
his
yeah.
he lost his mojo. He lost his
Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
He got the yips. He got the yips, bro.
But
So-
look, man, for me, we gotta start putting respect on Kaiju number 9's name. This man is getting a
I mean,
menace.
always did, dude.
Menace. Like,
I mean,
you
I was annoyed with him before, but I'm like, okay, now you actually might be
this
something.
man be planning, dog. Like, yo, not only he's like, oh wait, I thought Kaiju number 8 was here. I was getting readings. He's like, unless it's you, I don't know. Let's try it out.
It confirmed that he can sense other kaiju.
Yeah.
Which I'm
yeah.
like, does that mean that Kafka can also sense other kaiju maybe later on?
I think
So-
that's a kaiju feature. I think they
Yeah.
can just sense
Mhm.
each other.
Mm-hmm. Which is like, oh no, but he was like, you don't look like a kaiju. He's like, but I guess you are.
Because
Let me find out.
from what I remember, how Kafka knows it's like the kaiju senses it and automatically it goes transforms into his suit right away.
Yeah.
And and the only time when he hasn't the suit doesn't automatically come up is because he's preventing it. He literally have to hold himself back for it to appear so that he doesn't get caught. Now in this situation, he did sense him. He sensed number 9, or he just saw in front of his face and just boom.
What up, Denzel?
Hey, what up, Denzel? Who else is here? Cam, what's up?
Yo.
Ponzu, what's up, BB?
Also, Kaiju number 9 having set up like clones at other stations to prevent any reinforcements, quote unquote, to prevent quote unquote any reinforcements coming through. I was just like, man, this guy is a good.
Let's talk about that real quick. So I was like guessing. I'm like, does that mean that Kaiju number 9 has some like symbiotic type nature to itself? Because they said that it was in multiple places, and the only reason why it could be in those multiple places because it had host bodies, which were the ants, which makes perfect sense why it connected to an ant hive, which is wild and also terrifying.
The Kaiju are from Clintar, y'all. This is part of the MCU. Oh my God. Kaiju number 8 is in the end. This is in Marvel. We gonna get Marvel comics.
By the way, just a side note, and nope, never mind. I can't say that because that's a spoiler about Shang-Chi. I ain't gonna say it. Never mind. Because they confirmed that there is an anime that is canon in MCU.
Right? But there's definitely a symbiotic relationship with the kaijus. I mean, Kaiju number 8 itself, I see that as a symbiote because of the way it adapts and changes Kafka, and the way that Kaiju number 9 adapt and change the Ant Queen. It's definitely a symbiotic relationship. So it's like, it's going to be interesting to see how they flesh that out, to see what they really do with these abilities. Because if he can do this with an Ant Queen, what if he can do it with another like bigger like Dai Kaiju type thing?
I'm gonna call Kaiju number 9 Carnage from now on. That's what I'm gonna do. That's Carnage.
Oh no, I'm gonna call him Barnage. You look at his face. So James, you saying that got me thinking. Like, are Kaiju just like legitimately like inherently like those smaller organisms like we saw in Kafka, or like how do they take shape? Do they have to have a host? Yeah, exactly. Ooh, that's super interesting. So like when they extinguish number 9, does it turn into like that small organism that they can capture?
I don't know.
I mean, they do know that they have cores. Maybe that small object is their cores.
Does have cores, and he also molts too.
He does.
Sheds his skin too. That's another thing he does.
But you know what? This chapter, I'm thinking, if Kikoru kills Kaiju number 9, they might take that and turn that into her weapon, potentially. Maybe
if she can do it.
But like,
if she can do it.
I mean, like with ants' armor, they're already strong in itself. So I say it's a great like suit armor in itself, weapon and on its own for sure.
Oh, another thing too, on top of the whole symbiote thing, because the ants that they did kill, they rose up because of Kaiju number 9. So that does further support the whole symbiote claims too, Ray. I just remember that. But then if she's able to defeat the Kaiju number 9,
yeah, you're right.
what does that weapon look like? Because I assume that the weapons have certain qualities of the Kaiju.
Imagine
so what would be the qualities of
guns,
this one?
Some guns, because he likes
but that's
to shoot
not her
a lot.
style. No, that's not.
Because her captain has a gun lance.
Yeah,
I think hers would be like a
hammer,
a double-bladed axe would look sick, like the one from the
from
Phoenix axe from Absolute Knight.
Oh, from King and Black. Yeah.
Yes. Wouldn't it be sick?
The Silver Surfer board and
yes.
Manure.
Or
wouldn't it be sick?
Or
I would
how
love
about
that.
Like an axe with a gun at the end?
Do you know what that would look like, sir?
Yeah, but she doesn't use guns like that. That's
it's just so you're gonna have a double-bladed axe with a Glock on the front.
I'm with Vash, right? That number 9 would be used more as like a projectile type weapon.
You think so?
Yeah.
But I don't think it would go to Shinomiya though.
Correct, because that's his style. Like that's what he has shown us. He doesn't
but
look
he
like
would
he
have to
blades
beat it though. I don't see him taking it on if he didn't defeat the Kaiju.
Right.
I mean, I'm
so
just
like
saying,
those
as a weapon
ones?
in general, I don't know who would
projectile
get
makes
it, but
sense.
as a weapon in general, this would be a weapon that doesn't need to be reloaded with anything.
What if they're
because
like
it's organic? It
what if
just
they're like
continues to fire.
widow gauntlets? And so she can use them as like an assist. So like she'll have her
like
main weapon,
stingers.
but like like stingers. Yep.
That would actually be really cool.
Because they said it could be armor too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so it can double as armor and it could be like spikes and shit. That would be really cool.
That'd be sick.
I was thinking like some kind of kaiju repellent kind of thing because you know how he's able to communicate and command other kaijus all around, like command them to directions and everything, meaning he is a sensory kind of like mind trick on his own. Maybe they could use him as like just to like repel whatever is around them.
I mean, you might be right. They could, maybe it is a sensory
or
type deal.
or like command other kaiju to just like yo, get out of here, or like move
founding Titan type stuff.
That would be so OP though.
It would be. It really would be. But by the way, I just gotta say, like, these ants are gross. This is nasty. I hate it. They're so nasty. I can't stand it.
Yeah, really great design.
But there's also a lot of them there, and that's why I'm like, what's gonna happen here? Because number 9 has like basically brought out all the stops. It's like, nah, I'm taking my stuff here right now. So what's gonna happen? Who's gonna interrupt them? Are they gonna defeat it, or is another kaiju gonna show up and make it worse? Like, I'm really curious to see how this goes.
But like, definitely for sure, this is not even like the last of his plans. Like, yeah, he's able to separate everybody else from Kafka. Unfortunately, he didn't underestimate Shinomiya to come in for the save.
What do you think what he meant, like the great power of the kaiju? Like, do you guys think that means something more?
Oh yeah, he's definitely after the power that number 8 has, because we've seen that number 8
is fierce. Yeah,
like it is incredibly powerful. Like
the fact that it can stand up to number 2.
Right, and also just the stuff that Kafka's been able to do, barely understanding what he is. Like it's insane. So he's
clearly not even using that much of the power anyway.
And mind you, he was given number 9 issues the first time they met. And
yeah, exactly.
That had not number 9 concern. He's like, whoa, what is this?
Well, I mean, I
what's going on
go
here?
back to that fight with the vice captain, where he wasn't even fighting him, but was like adapting and learning and like was protecting himself in really just odd, like shape-shifting ways. And I'm like, this is sick. So it's wild. Like I just, there's so many things that Kaiju number 8 could do that we have not seen.
But yo, the way that chapter ended, it's like, hey, yeah, I'm here to take Kaiju number 8, and then it's like
you got split in half.
Hey,
by the way, even the bubble, that bubble got
that
split
panel
in half.
was I loved that with the panel getting cut in half. I was like, hey, this is like,
I was like, that's
I love this. This is good.
He's like,
that's
who are you?
Amazing art.
Like, you don't need to remember my name.
I was like, did you just Thanos her? Like, bro, relax. I don't even know who you are.
Like, no matter.
And then I love the line she said, like, it don't matter because I'm gonna be killing you after this. I'm like, oh, smooth. I want her to keep her word to see.
Which made me believe
the talk shit she does.
You're right, Vash, and that made me believe that this is Kikoru's chapter. Like, this is her battle. This isn't Kafka's.
Yeah.
So,
no.
Kafka's gonna fail. Kikoru's gonna,
he's
excel.
still.
Yeah, I don't see him transforming for the rest of this battle, honestly. No. I think that would be good for the story. And then he has to rework like mentally to figure some shit out.
So he's going to be out of commission for a while. But then here's the thing. Fortunately, what we know about Kafka, because we've seen this before, is he's able to use his brain and his knowledge as a cleaner. So we might see him resort to that for a few chapters while he still figures out the mental stuff. And it's just like, hey, I'm glad that he's written in such a way that he can be useful, even if not in battle like that. Even if he can't use the kaiju power, he can still be useful to the team. So it's definitely gonna be interesting because, hey, I'm down with Shorty shining because she badass as hell. Badass as hell. Let her go to work.
And Abe, that's definitely happening because he has to prove to so many other people that he's more than this power. He's more than a weapon to be used. You know what I mean? So he'll be able to use those skills to actually like combat these kaiju until he can figure it out. And then, much like Hulk, he will be able to put these two things together, his knowledge with the strength and the power. It's going to be insane.
And what helps too is that I know Kafka for sure feels embarrassed and he's like, oh my gosh, I just dropped the ball. But everybody's like, yo, was this a whole trap? Like, so he gets some slack. They're going to cut him some slack there. Like, hey, while you didn't really show us what you're good for, we probably put you into a bad situation. We probably fell into a trap here. So I'm definitely enjoying how this John is written. And I was concerned, like, yo, why a chapter so soon? Because the bi-weekly pattern has been phenomenal. The writing has not slowed down. The pacing has been great. dropping the chapters, so quickly has me a bit concerned, but I'm also a bit excited to see all right, let's see next step.
I felt like with this one, if it needed to be like back-to-back chapters because like it literally connects really well with each other. So I think that has to be the plan. Unless there's gonna be a longer break after this, which is totally fine. You just needed something.
That's
to
why
have
I
it
said like
back-to-back.
there's a chance that right after this chapter we might have a 2-week break or 3-week break just to get back to the bi-weekly type of feel. So that's my guess. And also, I'm happy how the other captains and other people above were worried for Kafka. Like, oh shit, what's gonna happen to him? We gotta go check him out. So I'm glad they were worried for him, not just for Kaiju, but also for the Kafka himself.
Are they though?
I mean, well, yeah, I feel like.
Are they just
like,
worried about losing a powerful asset?
Yeah,
exactly.
They were,
That's
they
what I
were
think.
worried for,
and then you also have to think where like, if he dies, we might be in trouble. If he gets taken, we're gonna be in trouble.
They don't want to lose. They don't want to lose an asset by him dying or him being used by number 9.
They are short-handed.
Like Abe and I were saying, like he needs to prove himself outside of that power first too. So
we'll get that. Overall, good chapter. I look forward to Thursdays. Every other Thursday.
I mean, look at the art. The artwork's amazing.
Oh, like Vash mentioned beforehand, page 13 in the manga, if you read it on the Shonen Jump app, that is my favorite panel. Like how Kaiju number 9 looked with the backdrop and of his abilities and his just body. I was like, this is menacing. Yeah, I was like, this is menacing. Like, hey, look, whoever decides, whichever studio decides to pick this up for an anime, I'm gonna need you to do a great job with that one panel because I'm gonna screenshot that and I'm going to make that my wallpaper.
It is definitely worth it. It has over 4 million copies sold. Yeah, it's been moving. It's the fastest manga selling in Shonen Jump Plus. So
and we still have to wait until December for our English copies in the US. My pre-order, please don't delay me, Amazon.
Still pre-order. Yep. I think it might get delayed. I'll be honest with you. I think so, but
really, you think so? Why?
Yeah, I think it get delayed till next year for sure. Especially with just the delays in production period right now for physical like paper goods.
True.
Yeah, we'll see. I hope not, but we'll see.
Damn, that sucks. But makes sense though.
Okay, guys, let's go. If we're all good, any last thoughts for Kaiju number 8?
I mean, I'm ready for Thursday already, bro.
Read Kaiju number 8. That's all we can say.
Yep.
Just read it.
Read Kaiju number 8. Shinomiya is one of my favorite female MCs ever already. Let's get it.
Agree?
Well said, guys. Let's go straight into Jujutsu Kaisen, chapter 157, Cog.
This was flames.
It's very flames.
Like, for me, this was Gege get back literally into his flow. And I'm like, thank you. Like, I'm like, good. You took your time and now you're back into it. It makes sense. I'm like, yes, this is exactly what I wanted. There was, some exposition. There was legitimately like character growth and development still.
Joe,
we got to well, I see, that's what I'm saying. I've been missing Yuji. Like, I have truly been missing Itadori. And I'm like, thank you for bringing him back into the fold for us so we can see this character, because I really like that character. We'll see you later, BB. But no, I really like Itadori, and like I'm glad that they're giving him his like main character powers back, if you ask me.
Because that dialogue was about like
it was important.
He's like, I don't have the fever. I'm not this big. Yeah, I'm just a cog in the machine.
I feel bad for him, function. And it's why, and I feel like this is what I've been waiting for, the effects of Shibuya to show through, which I could definitely see. This is a result of what happened to Shibuya.
Like once like when we first saw him when Shibuya arc ended, and then the start of a new arc of Yuta hunting him down, he was not all right. He wanted to be alone. He would like whatever good that he can like that he feels guilty and maybe salvageable. He would do all whatever rescue and save and stuff like that, and whatever punishment, because he feel guilty for what Sukuna did with his body when he had no idea what's been going on. Literally, the entire Shibuya, half of it got destroyed. He got a fucking crater. literally, and then you have Geto be like, ha 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 ha, wasn't this all fun? Wasn't this all, it was all according to plan for me to do this. And it's like, oh, you messed up. You are so messed up in the head. Literally, the brain, not even him. Like, seriously. But to have Yuji know, like, he's not alone. He has friends. Yuta is, like, even the person who killed him does not feel guilty. He understands how he feels. He has sympathy for Yuji. Tells him, like, it's, we get it. It's not your fault. We have to work together this moment right now, especially for Megumi. Megumi just wants to save his sister. He doesn't care about the royal family, the name, and he doesn't care that he's the leader. Man was begging, like, please just help me. Literally, like, with those kind of high standards and honor, like, they would have so much, like, cockiness and respect. But no, Megumi is different. He is literally Toji's son. Like, he is so different from everybody else in the family. He knows his place, he knows his position, and if he needs to ask help, he will ask for help. Megumi's, yeah, for sure.
Megumi's an amazing character.
Yeah, he just showed off his intellect. I mean, this guy he has the brains and he has the skill set. Too. Like, yeah,
he's humble.
Absolutely. And I just love, like, you know, I said this before and I'm gonna say it again. Early on in especially anime, when the anime dropped, it just reminded me of how I felt. I'm not gonna say I hated Megumi. It's just like, hey, Yuji got Sukuna, yo. Sukuna, don't be out here saying like, hey, I got eyes on Megumi. I'm like, yo, what about Yuji? He's able to house you. This boy's special. I felt disrespected. But man, I can't deny it. Megumi is just the way he's been developing, and especially his own powers. Like, this man
doesn't need to
see why Sukuna has his eyes on him, man.
Man does not need to seek a grown ass man for powers. No, he's gonna understand his own powers. He ain't Sasuke. He don't understand his own powers.
I mean, and it's also that it's the way that it's not just the power and potential that he has. For me, it's the way he uses his abilities that makes all the difference. And I feel like these last three chapters were a really, really, really good example of that. Megumi is not just, you know, powerful in his own right. He doesn't even. Let's be real. He could have probably overpowered Hikari if he wanted to.
I mean, yeah.
Well, no, Kirara, my bad. He could have overpowered Kirara if he wanted to, but it was like, no.
That wasn't the goal.
That wasn't the goal because they wanted them to trust them.
Yeah.
And
so it's like, no,
treat them more respect than what, like, the school.
And that's why I think that's why this was fantastic, because it was truly showing that they had a plan. He stuck to the plan, and he worked around, like, he improvised the entire time. So I'm like, I love Megumi. Megumi's fantastic.
And how I saw this, he just wanted to show her, look, I could defeat you, but that's not what I'm here for.
Thank you.
Right? I am here for your help. That's it. You know? And again, I love seeing the maturity from him, and Megumi is becoming like my favorite character of this entire story more and more every chapter that I see him.
Yeah.
Like, Itadori's cool. Like, I love his strength, his resilience and everything, but Megumi is the far superior character.
Yeah, if I were to say Megumi, he's more of the better moral guidance for Yuji. And that's why, like, he needs him around, as well as not keep, like, Yuji can't get away from him, because Megumi is going to be the solution to help him, like, maneuver for life. That's
the kind of
Yuji.
Friends that you need.
Well, not even that. I would actually say that Yuji is more of the moral guide for him, because if you recall back to the beginning, Megumi looked at it like, yo, I mean, we're not heroes. We're just here to take out curses, when, like, we're not about saving people. But Yuji being like, no, you know, I get that, but why can't we save people in the process? Like, people are in danger, and how that affected them. Remember when they were in the basement?
And, like,
in the sewer.
Megumi was the one that shocked Yuji. Like, what if the person you save kills another person?
Yeah, so they definitely impact each other, and I see in sort of balancing each other out, because you have Yuji, who has this very optimistic, naive view of the world, and Megumi, I'm not gonna say he has an utterly cynical view.
He has the realistic view of everything.
He's realist. And it's like, look, man, I mean, people die every day.
You have to think about it. They literally come from two different worlds. Yuji comes from the real world, from what we consider the real world, and then, you know, Megumi is from this really chaotic, like, oppressing world where power is everything.
Yeah.
You know?
And, like, Gojo was his guidance and taking care of him too.
Well, I mean, yes and no. But it's like, it was just kind of seeing how everything was going on around them, and learning of his past and the past of his family and whatnot. I feel like that really does make a difference between the two of them. And that's why where Abe said they balance each other out really makes sense, because I mean, Yuji does come from a more realistic, like, people, how do people get, like, how do we as people, you know, advance? It's by working together. It's by helping each other.
Right.
And, you know, that's not the case in this Jujutsu sorcerer world, because it's whoever has the most power determines what happens, because they're given this power. And so I'm like, yeah, they're both right in their own ways. It's just they have to understand the intricacies of why there are no absolutes. There's no true, like, good in this, and there's no, like, well, I mean, we've seen the true evil, but we still don't know their true intentions yet. So
right.
I'm like, this is, I love these two characters because they are actively learning and growing through their experiences, but not just letting these milestones shape them. They're taking what they learn from these experiences and, like, applying them to different situations to learn more. Which is this whole thing with Yuta and Hikari is literally fantastic, because Yuji knows, we all know, once again, Yuji could knock the shit out of Hikari if he wanted to, but he's not, because he knows that he's there to get his help, and he respects his senpais. He does. Mm-hmm. He does. And so he's like, listen, I'm just here to do my job of getting you to help. Like, that is why I'm here, and I'm not going to stop until you agree to help me.
Yeah, he's doing the shonen thing where he becomes a punching bag until the person caves. And
well, see, what I was concerned about, though, was that I was like, but what if he knocks Yuji unconscious and Sukuna shows up? And I'm like, and that just ruins the whole thing. That's what I was worried about initially. Because Megumi was like, he can't take much more of that. And I was like, just don't let that happen.
But something that, since you mentioned, brought attention to Hikari, is like, yo, his ability. Like, we still don't really know his ability, but even Yuji was like, yo, it doesn't even matter how much strength. Yeah. He's like,
it doesn't matter how hard he hits me. It hurts.
Like a serrated blade.
Yeah, he said a serrated bat, which is
from Walking Dead. Lucille, literally that bat, Negan, that bat. That's literally that.
What did he say? He said the Gojo Sensei said that my curse energy had an edge, and I'm like, interesting. Edge. That's real interesting. I'm curious to see how that's going to get used later on.
His wording.
That guy does not waste abilities, and I'm like, what is this about? I'm like, what's up with this? So,
because this is different from what we saw inside the room when he started using the abilities. So it's like, yo, we got two different things going on, and it's like,
they said that he's the most powerful one. So we'll see what's up with that.
So him stretching, like getting ready, it reminds me of the Hunter x Hunter pose. He reminded me of Nitaro Hikari. Because like, all right, let me get this. Let me have the whole energy around me. Let my whole entire.
I had more of a Tagiro vibe. It seemed more Tagiro than anything to me, honestly.
You?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely rang like I could see Tagiro like parallels there, which is interesting. So imagine if Tagiro was turned into a good guy. That would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Ooh, man, that would have been
a little more calculated.
Yeah,
exactly. A little more calculating,
and more gambling fueled person with a fever.
I mean, which Tagiro does seem like that kind of character would have been. It would have been a character trait. Could have been. I don't know.
But definitely,
and I feel like Hikari uses like gambling to read people, because when you gamble, people show you who they really are. They show you their mentality, how they think, short term, long term. It's all a chess game.
You do that for Texas Hold'em.
You're right. You're right. Man, so like I said, this chapter was fantastic. Like, this is what I've been waiting on. But I'm curious that, like, I want to know why Yuji has decided to accept this role of a cog. He doesn't feel like he's more, because I see Yuji as more of a driver than a cog. But it's
but this is the role he has to play right now. Though.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it seems like that's the role he wants to play. Period.
Well, it goes back. And Ray, this is why I agree. I felt so strongly about how you said Shibuya has really sat with him. I think it goes back to Shibuya incident. Like, Yuji finally understands that, yo, how everybody views me, I'm just a piece in the machine. Like, I'm here to be a vessel to Sukuna. And as a result, there's so many people trying to come after me. There's so many things moving around me. Like, I just need to play my role. I just need to do what I'm told. If I can, whatever I can do to help others in this fierce battle against Ghetto, I'm gonna do that. So I really think Shibuya has played a role in how
I think you're right there, because he does say, he literally says, there's a panel, he goes, my function is getting rid of curses, and in my mind that includes Sukuna. And if you're necessary for that, I won't give up until you agree. Because he wants to, I think like his motivation now is he wants to get rid of Sukuna. He knows how dangerous Sukuna is. He doesn't have to,
especially with how others are reacting to Sukuna. Like their desire to get Sukuna has led to so much. Shibuya incident is going to play such a pivotal role throughout this entire series. I think.
I feel like it already has. Hell yeah!
Like it's going to be so important because it really changed the game. It really changed everything.
Yeah, and it revealed a lot of flaws.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, it basically it tore the Jujutsu world apart, literally.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh well, but I do love that Yuji walked up to my boy and said, "Conjunction, junction. What's your function?" And then
I was like, "Oh, okay, all right then." That's that.
But no, I really enjoyed this chapter because it I think it ended at like this confrontation ended in the right amount of time. Had it gone a chapter longer, it would have been too much. So I'm like, this is good.
Because then what more could you say?
Exactly.
But like the exposition wasn't supposed to be dragged out. It was supposed to be short and sweet.
We can learn about Hikari's curse powers much later on. Like,
I mean, I'm sure he's gonna explain it actually. Like he's gonna tell them what he can do, so that way they can actually work with him. So I'm like, I'm about that life. Really am. I'm excited to see how that goes. For real.
But yeah,
now I wonder.
But he did say, "Let's cut a deal." So he wants to get something out of this. And I want to know what he wants. Is it just gonna be money, or is it gonna be something else?
Well, remember he said like when a sorcerer asks a sorcerer for a favor, it's understood that they're putting their lives on the line. And you have to show me right here and right now, like that you got the fever to make me do that. Which
he did. He let him beat the shit out of him.
Yo, so correct me if I'm wrong. Early on when we get the exchange, didn't Toto refer to him like Toto was like, "Hey, where old boy at?" Right? Because he
wanted to fight him.
Going, okay. Just wanted to remember. I'm like, hey,
yeah, because like something what Hikari did that got him suspended from Jujutsu High Tech. And then,
I wonder if we going to learn about that. Especially when Hikari finds out that Toto is out of commission for the time being, as far as we know.
That's very true. They're very out of touch.
I mean, they're completely out of touch with what happened. I'm like, do they know it all? What happened?
Like, do they even know about Sukuna? I'm
like, I want to know. I guess what I want to know is how much they know. Really is what I really want to see.
How on top with the Jujutsu world have they been? Because I also feel like, I feel like, to me, if I was to theorize, Hikari is too intelligent enough to completely cut off ties. You know, I feel like he at least keeps feelers out. He may not know
keep an eye on him so that way he knows where to be and where not to be.
Exactly. But then at the same time, you know, the fact that we don't know if he doesn't know about Gojo. We can assume they probably, if they don't, it's
so
like,
I'm pretty sure it's still I think the Gojo thing is still a surprise to everybody, and not many people know still. Yeah, I mean, if you know, you know, but if you don't, you don't, literally.
Yeah, so that's going to be a surprise because, you know, we can see that all the students have loved Gojo to an extent. Even Megumi loves Gojo, even though he likes to talk shit about him. Yeah, because Gojo's mad lackadaisical, right?
Yep.
I want to know how Hikari.
I mean, you'd be too if you were that powerful.
That's true.
I mean, you do what you want when you popping, right? You know?
Yeah, I guess.
So I'm
still a pain in the ass.
Definitely curious to see how those two react, and exactly like you said, Ray. How much do they know? How much are they aware of? That's gonna be fun to see. But
like I said, I'm gonna blame most of this on Gojo anyway. Had he, not got his ass caught, this would have been different.
We know Toto was inspired and then was training Yuji. Would you think Hikari will also train him as well?
I mean, what else could he teach him at this point? Is my question.
Well, their fighting style at this moment is similar.
I mean, fighting style aside, like what could Yuji actually learn from Hikari? Is just my question. Is it like different how to shape his curse energy in a different way or something?
Yeah.
Or like
what? You know? Yeah. Because it's a serrated bat, that'd be a nice technique. for Yuji to
imagine a
adapt
Black Flash in that, like
yeah, because we know he can't rely solely on Black Flash.
No,
he can't rely solely on Black Flash.
I mean, because the enemy knows that now too, so we can't rely on that.
So you know, if you're gonna introduce something that makes his punches, you know, no matter how light or heavy he throws them, have an edge like that.
And I guess with Itadori, the way his energy works, yeah, something like that would be nuts. Because remember, his is delayed, and so could you imagine? Oof, that could be nasty. So you're right. Okay,
getting punched physically by him, and then like a 5-second delay, now it feels like a serrated bat just smacked you inside the head too. Oh gosh,
that's nasty.
And then hey, when he pulls out Black Flash, oh gosh, it just
that hurts.
About all that. But hey, Yuji for sure. I mean, look, Yuji can take a hit, though. Oh my God, he
can take a beating. Literally took a beating.
Oh my goodness. And hey, you know, we mentioned this beforehand. There was that one panel I was like, oh, is that Neo? Look at how he just went all the way back and then stood back up. Didn't even fall. You know, I was just like, okay, this the determination, the will of Yuji is so
I mean,
impressive.
but we also have to be afraid of how fast Yuji is. He's incredibly fast still. That was terrifying that he was just there. I was like, oh no.
Just freaking frightening. Freaking frightening.
Gojo has he collected a lot of interesting folks with some high brutal physical attributes.
I mean, think about it. Gojo knew that in order for the Jujutsu Sorcerer world to be destroyed, he was going to have to gather a strong group of people. But so, I mean, in my mind, this is all going according to Gojo's plan, which is super shitty, but like I think very real. Gojo wanted this to happen. He was bored.
You think?
I'm gonna be mad if it came down simply I was just bored. Like
whose long intricate plan will work? It's either Geto or it's either Gojo. But
I mean, you got to think that Gojo had a plan, and you could tell that he had one from the start. Yeah. Like just in the way that he was talking to the higher ups, even then, like he wanted to get rid of them. He wanted to get rid of most of them then.
Yes,
I mean that's true. Yeah.
So I'm like, what is Gojo's,
what's his
end
function?
Goal? Yeah, what is exactly, Abe? What's his function?
His function is to disrupt the machine. That's what I'm confused.
I think so. Yeah.
The machine needs to be disrupted. The way that they do things need to be redone, much like My Hero.
I mean, right now it's being destroyed at the moment. Like high top, he had to not be there for it to be fully destroyed. So.
Right, exactly. So that's why I feel like he let himself get caught, bro. Gojo absolutely let himself slip. He was like, you know what? Because there's that weird moment of hesitation. He's like, should I let myself get caught or not? And then he does. He's like, well, let's see what happens.
The crazy thing is, he had a whole long time. Even 1 second for him is like it could be like a whole entire year for everybody else. So he had a lot of time to think about all this. So he probably like, I get connected like this. Okay,
this man Gojo
let me sleep.
Is serious, dog. This man Gojo is a menace. He really is. He's like, oh my gosh.
Could this be his way of like forcing the rest of them to get stronger because he's not around to fix everything?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Even if it means people dying. Yeah.
Well, I think we talked about this, and where Gojo is different in All Might in that he said, no, I want the rest of y'all to come up to my level. And so he took himself out of the equation.
And
could you imagine if All Might took himself out of the equation in Hero Society?
Oh gosh.
Earlier on?
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I've set the stage. Now you do it.
now y'all rise to the challenge and do it. Could you imagine how different things would have been?
Yeah. Perform and entertain the series. It's your turn. Yeah. Like, how are we supposed to top that? I don't know. It's your problem.
Do something. Figure it out.
Also, I feel like the reason Gojo also did that is like, all right, y'all don't believe me when I said this young generation is going to surpass us. All right, so I'm gonna take myself out of the equation, and you'll see how this young generation surpasses everything you know
and changes everything.
So far, they've been doing that. Like the.
I mean, all we gotta say is the word Maki, and that shows exactly what's happening.
Took out a whole
what's insane is Gojo will also take the willing sacrifices need to be made.
Yeah, no, he's
because even in his fight in the train stations,
who gonna check him? Who gonna check Gojo? Nobody.
No, I mean like the people like we have like emotional attachment.
That's why he's willing to make sacrifices because he's like, hey, fodder, who's gonna check me regardless? Nobody. Nobody. So I'm like, because these top end, high level, all knowing curse players are like, hey yo, we gotta catch him. We can't beat him, but we gotta catch him like a Pokemon. So it's like, this is where we are. I love it. JJK, it's still one of my favorite stories. It's it's not perfect by any stretch to me, but I love JJK and always will. It's so good. And I think that it's very different from everything else that we're reading.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Like similar formula, but it's so different from everything else in a good way.
I'm also also interested in Hikari's pass, because like
Same.
when Hikari said, I still hate the big shots, but Kin's fevers burned the highest when he was helping people from at the JJ High. Like, what other bullshit was happening back then?
That's what Karara said, right?
That's what Karara said.
Yeah. So I was just like,
was it around
their relationship too? I really want to dive into, because they're an interesting and fun pairing to me, Karara and Hikari. I'm like, I really want to know what brought y'all and bonded y'all so like this. So, hopefully maybe we get a glimpse of that, like you said, Sam. Hopefully we dive into that, because that'd just be fun, because Karara himself
we didn't see that in Zero. We didn't see them in Zero.
No.
So like,
and
can we at least see how he got suspended, or the reason kind of thing too? Like,
I kind of feel like he's gonna explain why he got suspended. Or like Itadori is gonna ask and be like, well, why'd you leave? Why'd you get suspended? I feel like that's absolutely gonna come up. So
I mean, besides like the shitty high school principal and other shit, but
if he's like, oh, Gojo told me some stuff, I'm like,
okay,
no,
that's way too that's way too like open, out in the open.
Well, I mean, think about Yuta, bro. He told Yuta.
Yeah, Yuta been on his wave for a while because of Gojo. So it's like, find out Hikari. He's just like, yeah, Gojo told me to, so I've just been doing my thing.
Gojo slipped me a few dollars and said, go start a fight club. And I'm like, why? He's like, don't worry about it.
See, like, at this point, you know what? If Gojo turns out being the main antagonist of JJK,
please don't.
Please don't.
I'm
going to accept it.
That would be so
I mean, why set up the whole thing with Geto then? Like, if Gojo's just going to be the bad guy.
And why set up, like, Sukuna? Like, yeah.
Exactly. I still think that Sukuna is still the main antagonist.
Yeah.
I hope so. But this Gojo cat is golly, man.
A menace. We already said it.
Yo, yeah.
Get me pictures of Gojo. Oh, by the way, I just want to. I don't know, James, if you saw it. You got
I did.
Again. This is beautiful.
Gotta get it.
This is lovely.
I'll drop a link because it's amazing and I love it. And this is embroidered.
Good material.
Yes, very good material. So
good.
It's sick. She did a fantastic job. So
sweet.
I love it.
If you can you also send a link to the live chat so the people?
Actually, I'm gonna go find it right now. Yep.
Is she a podcaster?
I think so.
Okay.
We'll find out though. So y'all keep going while I look for this.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, what else do we have to say on JJK besides just how awesome it is? I feel like it's time to move over to
the fever.
I'm ready for the next one.
But what's also as hot is the new My Hero Academia chapter. Oof.
Yo, if they make a shirt with him and his like how he currently looks with the tattered vestiges, I'm copping that. Like, it should be a black shirt. No, it should be a white shirt, black. I'm copping that, John, because
man, I would go black shirt with all the colored silhouettes on the front. I think that'd be sick.
I could. You're onto something, James. You're onto something.
Anybody who designs clothes, you heard James' idea. Go ahead.
So the link I just dropped, the Wonder of Anime shop, hit her up.
Oh yeah, the Wonder of Ivy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, she is a podcaster as well. Yeah.
Oh, lit. So, but hit her up. Like her, I love her stuff. Everything that she's made is beautiful. I love all of it. And
no.
I'm probably finna cop.
Animes are totally different when I apologize.
Okay, no, you good. But no, I'm finna cop a lot of her stuff. So there y'all go. But she's fantastic.
Support the creators, guys. Check out the link. Yeah. Get yourself a hoodie. look at style and fresh.
We
as
about to
Ray.
hit. We about to hit hoodie. We about to hit hoodie season again.
That's very
It was
true.
68 degrees this morning, so I was
My
like,
favorite
Oh, yeah.
season.
thank
Yeah,
God.
now that I moved up to the Bay, hoodie season is back in effect for me, so I can start using my hoodies and
Finally.
sweatshirts again.
Any
Right?
season that has no mosquito is a good season to me. So
Yeah, and since it's hoodie
So
season,
far.
head over to shopforspoilers.com. Get you a
Hey,
Chemical
Mhm.
Spoilers hoodie.
definitely get that.
anyway, yes, let's go into My Hero Academia, chapter 325, The Bonds of One for All. Oof. We actually found our boy Kota. Him literally saying like, "I'm sorry I couldn't be here sooner, but I was so hesitant to move until the lady stood up for like and said that stuff and just want to be just like you. I'm here, right? You don't have to cry anymore."
Bro,
Bro!
these last two chapters, I almost cried, right? Because
Well, I did.
it's the constant parallels that Horikoshi puts into his story, right? Like that small little panel of Kota in the shoe store wanting to get the exact same sneakers as Deku.
I think he
And
said the
then
same
to-
thing Deku said to him when Deku came to his rescue too. It was like, "I'm here."
Yeah, I am here crying and smiling, just trying. Dude, I almost lost
No,
it. Bro.
I'm laying in bed, single thug tear, bro.
because that's the most important part about being a hero, not just the punching, but inspiring other people to stand up for what's right, to look into the darkness and see the light on the other end, bro. This is the important part about being a hero. Like, it's so amazing. Horikoshi is God.
You know, Horikoshi got all the important things in here.
Yes.
Why she's so thick?
Bro, I said
I
the
just
same
need to
thing.
know
I'm
her
like, she
age.
is
I call
caked
dibs
up.
as long as she's
Yes.
over
Age
23.
appropriate.
That's why I have not called,
Yeah.
because I'm like, hey, bro,
Plus, I
on
don't
a
know her
Thursday
name
after TT on a Thursday afternoon. Why?
And before these last two chapters, have we ever heard of like what other people that don't look like human
The
are called?
Heteromorphs.
I don't.
The heteromorphs?
He might
Have
have
we
dropped
heard
that.
that before?
He might have dropped that early on.
Yeah,
in
we
Overhaul.
referred to that. Yeah,
He might have
Okay.
dropped something like that in
with
Overhaul.
Safune. Yeah.
Okay, chat correct me. I don't remember everything.
But it was very distinct now, realizing like how it's just like, yo, you know, I've been to so many shelters and they turned me away because I'm a hetero.
Because of
Like,
the way I looked, and I'm
Yeah.
like, bro,
it's like, hey, ooh,
quirkism.
nah.
quirkism is real.
It's like,
And it has
if
been
you
for a
have
long time.
quirk, but you look human, 100% human, you're fine.
Right.
But if you have a quirk that changes it makes you more animal. Oh, nah.
Well, I
And
mean,
this
think-
is such an X-Men thing too.
Mhm.
It's
Yes.
so like X-Men, bro.
Thank you for bringing
It's
it
so
up.
much more acceptable. Like
See,
the
all
mutants that had to
parallels
live in the
Western
sewers, bro.
Comics by,
Mhm,
my
mhm.
Horikoshi
Well, I
really
mean,
does pay attention.
And think
Really
about that.
does
Yeah,
pay attention.
the principal was also felt like that. And why do you think that the principal was like, no, we taking everybody in? Because he was
Mhm.
treated the exact same way.
Exactly.
Oh, speaking of which, remember when they were like, oh, what about the other school? Shiketsu or so? And Shorty was like, it'll probably be the same way that they
Exactly.
react over
Yes.
there.
Exactly.
I was
he was
oh
like, why
my
would it be? He
gosh.
was like, why would it be any different? Like,
Like, it would be the same thing.
Mhm.
But
I wanna
but
get
like,
to-
no, but this is Deku's home. That's the
Yeah.
the biggest difference. You know?
like the man's monologue of him.
Oh,
as
yes,
a hero.
yes,
I want to talk about
yes.
that for sure. Like,
Mhm.
how did you guys feel about that entire speech that he made? This is guy from episode 1 too.
Yes, I'm like Horikoshi, bro.
He knew how to use them.
Yeah, man.
You know
Not even
what?
that, it's just that there are people that exist that do see the bullshit. Like he basically said he saw through it, he's seen through it, and he's like, no, this ain't right. Like basically, you know, we gotta have somebody to support us, or else what we got.
Look,
No.
I'm always going to refer to the Gospel of Stain, okay?
It's true. It goes back to Stain.
Stain has been one of the first to really see this society, the hero society, for what it is. And now you're seeing more people, and I guess sometimes you just need a different messenger to finally get it, you know, because I understand people can't look past the deeds. I won't call them evil deeds because I feel they were necessary, but some people can't look past the deeds of Stain. But just look at a normal human being and how it's the same philosophy, just worded different. Dog, how much will it take for people to finally understand the flaws? This system is not perfect. The Hero Society is not perfect. I mean, my man said, like, yo, we lost our way because we had such a huge icon in All Might, where we were just like, yo, this is the standard. And we also understood that no one could really meet that standard. But as a result, we turned a blind eye to everybody else's motivation, everybody else's reasoning for getting into this. Because we always had All Might at the end of the day. When things got bad, All Might. I mean, even when you look at My Hero Vigilantes, All Might, again, it's like, hey, hold it down, but when All Might gets here, everything will be fine. Call All Might, no matter where he is in the world. And then you get to this idea like, yo, but then we realize that some people are in it for the fame. Some people are in it for the clout, for the riches. And we've seen a good number of those heroes drop the capes.
And that's exactly what he said.
Why are these people still in it? Because they're not getting the love that they used to. No one is out there celebrating them. No one's out there paying for them. Why are they still doing this? And it's like, finally, you get it. This is
somebody finally realized, why are these random people putting their lives on the line for us when we are ungrateful pieces of So
and like, yo, if Stan is anywhere nearby, I know Stan is like, he gets it. I won't kill you today.
You know, I don't know where Stan is. I don't think Stan's
I really
anywhere
need
nearby.
Stan to be somewhere, but Stan will be proud. He's like,
I thought he was, but now I don't. I don't know where he is now.
So real quick, so on the topic of All Might, you know, we've gone back and forth on the All Might thing about how bad a teacher All Might was and how a lot of this is All Might's fault. No, I've gone back and forth on this, and I'm like, no, it's not. All Might was doing what All Might thought was best, just like we would. Just like any person would in this situation. And I feel like it's the fault of everybody else for getting outside of Endeavor, to be honest. Endeavor was constantly chasing All Might, wanting to be better. But to his own detriment.
Yes.
And it was the extremes that people go to. But All Might was doing exactly what he thought was right because of what he saw the gravity of the situation more than everybody else. He firsthand saw the evil and the seriousness of All For One. And so he committed to doing his best to defeat that evil because he thought that was exactly what was best. And nobody else thought for a minute to think about how All Might was feeling. That's the problem. Like how much of responsibility he was shouldering. All Might literally put himself in a place where he thought he had to do everything because nobody else was asking him, "Are you okay?" or nobody else was stepping up to even be on the level of All Might because they're like, well, we can't reach that height. I mean, did you try?
I'm gonna refer to the Gospel of Tepe, Kiyoshi Tepe, I believe his name is, from Kuroko's basketball. When Tepe is going up against that school and he's getting abused and beat down and everything, he's like, yo, I'm here to be a shield. I will take all these hits from him. That's what All Might was doing. All Might said, I will face the brunt of all this evil. So you guys, everybody can still have a smile on it. So they don't need to know. They don't need to be exposed to the real evil of this world, to the real evil of All For One. All Might said, I will be your shield. I will be your shield and your sword.
Or symbol of peace, literally.
And so while, yes, you know, hey, you got to give Bakugo his credit for realizing this too. When Bakugo said, like, that's the problem with Deku and All Might. You know, they feel like they have to take the burden on. Yo, great intentions by both, but it's just there's some negative impact from it.
Horikoshi, Western Comics, again, he literally took, with great power comes great responsibility, and applied it to the maximum. And that's what Deku and All Might are. Straight up.
But sometimes the responsibilities are too heavy for one person to bear.
Well, I mean, it's well, and not even that. It's just with the greatest power comes the greatest responsibility.
Right.
It's what they took on. Straight up.
Like, yo, here, Horikoshi really pays attention to Western comics. I mean, you can tell he's a huge fan. I mean, you're pulling from Batman, you're pulling from Spider-Man, you're pulling from X-Men. This guy does his work. He's a student of the game. But even more so, like going back to the Hero Societies, yo, the heroes minus Endeavor really just became complacent riding All Might's coattails. They're like, yo, I mean, we can do it for the fame, for the endorsements, for the merchandise. Because at the end of the day, if it gets really that bad,
if it gets too bad, I'm gonna dip out. All Might got me. Yeah,
yeah, and All Might's so fast, he'll get there before me.
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. So it's like, you know, while he's taking care of that, people love us. Let me get my bobblehead and all that stuff. Let me get my Funko Pop on.
I love that all of this is being torn down, right? And I love that we even get the updated version of Deku's speech of, yeah, this is the story of how I became the greatest hero, but this is the story of how we all became the greatest heroes, bro.
Exactly.
Like, it's so important, and it feeds back to what Hawks is saying in this chapter too. Like, One for All is a network of power that links people's hearts. It tied All Might to Midoriya, his classmates to him. Like, it's all one thing, and it's showing us where the hero society needs to be. We talked about this a million times. There's no longer going to be a ranking system. It's just going to be heroes just doing what they need to do. And like Cameron was saying in chat, like, the government is at fault here too.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
They took advantage of this entire situation.
The government has given people this mindset to where, yeah, we can just make child soldiers and it's okay. Right? Like, yeah, as long as we hide it in the guise of we're training them to be heroes, it's like, no, I mean, you're still technically using kids as soldiers to the point where the public barely even sees Deku as a kid. They are willing to leave a kid out on the streets to protect themselves. It's like, oh, he has quirks, he'll be fine, right? He'll be fine on his own. He's still just a kid. He's 16 years old.
And guess what? This is the parallel, the huge parallel. Guess what? The same system that has now produced Deku also produced Shigaraki.
Facts, bro. Facts.
Like, that is that's what this is, bro. And like, that's why I say Shigaraki, in his very twisted and warped sense of reality, is justified.
Yes.
And the way that he feels.
Absolutely.
I always thought that he was justified.
He's justified in the way that he feels, and I feel like anime only job out to find out why.
Next
This next episode. That when I read that chapter for the first time, gut punch, bro.
Yup.
Absolutely.
That's what set it off for me. That's why I was like, all right, Shigaraki, like, hey, you know what?
That's what makes him different. This sets him apart. But I'm like, we got to be careful here, because I mean, and then Cameron said something really important. Then All Might died. Yes, All Might's dead. Like, not Toshinori, but All Might is dead.
All Might dead.
Yeah.
Has been. He died in Kamino, bro. Straight up. And that's why I'm like, people are like, oh, he needs to die. Y'all literally don't pay attention. You don't have to physically die to be dead. People have literally forgotten about All Might. You remember when those punks were like, oh shit, that is All Might, and they didn't give a damn? That should have really set off something in your head. It was what he reminded them. It's like, hey, no, I'm still who I am. I'm just not what you remember me to be.
I mean, this is how people treat the celebrity, right? I mean, it's like they follow you while you're high, and then when you drop, no one cares anymore. They forget about you.
Exactly. Nobody cares about them. Nobody checks on them.
I'm about to go back to that episode, that final fight, because if I remember correctly, how did it end? It's just the fist up and just knowing, like, yo, this is.
I have to stand up and be this symbol one last time.
Yeah.
Because this is physically it. I can't do it no more.
I gotta go back and watch that, because that was just because everybody was watching it. It was on a big screen. Everything. All eyes was on this fight.
Hawk's explanation of connecting, like, All Might connected to Deku, Deku connected to his classmates, and his classmates is connecting it to the public and the people's heart. And you know how, like, we all were guessing with One for All's quirk of everybody's gonna connect, the quirks are gonna work out together and
what a great way.
No, this is about people's hearts and connecting of One for All. This is what it is in the symbol, but it's people's hearts that's being connected together.
I do love one thing that I really truly love is that Hawk's ideology came to light here. Remember when we first heard it, we were like, oh, well, that's lazy, that's boring. Everybody thought he was lazy. Remember, he says, I see a future where heroes have time to kill. That was his thing from the start when we met Hawks. And we were like, oh, everybody's like, oh, that's lazy, boo, whatever. But no, this is what he meant. He wants it to where heroes can actually breathe, can live a life. And I'm like,
because again, people don't see them as people.
Exactly.
Sam, I love that you brought that up, because for me, when I read that, I just got so giddy, because what a great way to take the premise, the philosophy of one for all, you know,
you're
one
right.
for yes,
One for all,
as a quirk and how it works, and then apply that to Hero Society, apply that to the situation, the parallels. I was just like, Hawks gets it. Hawks fully understands and explain this.
I would like to say this chapter I was confirmed that Mineta does love Deku because who's running up behind Deku crying?
Ida was like, "Yep, wait, nope, that's not our moment. You wait."
And Ida's like, "Yeah, chill, homie, chill. Like, nah, this isn't our time." Yo, the self-awareness of everybody during this, it's everybody.
Even Endeavor, Hawks, and Shoto were like literally behind those doors, could not show their face.
Hey, I know you like this, but I like it more. Relax.
Like they didn't want to like show up the appearance, or else they knew like if they see Endeavor's face, they're gonna start hating them. All the credit that they were trying, Class 1A was trying to do to convince them. Like no, it's like we have to. If we were there in the wrong timing, they would not fall for it. People would not agree to this. And then you have another. I forgot the hero's name, but he came. Like, you might want to come in. I'm glad you heard speech, but you might want to come in. Like, you want to see this. Like they literally seeing for themselves. The people are there for Deku. They're leading him into the door to inside UA.
Good segue, Sam, because we got to see somebody we have not really actually seen for a bit and confirm something. We got to see Aizawa.
Yeah.
He's okay. He got to listen. Like principal had him on FaceTime the whole time.
and smiling, bro.
And smiling because those are his kids. Those are his kids.
The principal was like, "This is beyond my power, but your class achieved it."
He's like, "Hey, look, you helped do this. You helped bring these kids up to where they are right now. Look at them. Look at how they grew." He's like, look around. This wouldn't be possible without you."
Also, but let's go back a bit earlier to just a brief moment. That double spread when they're being embraced by the people.
Deku's
as their
mom is like, "Yo,
allowed
this
to
is my boy."
Yo, and she has the same facial expression for how many chapters now? It's like,
right?
Yo, at some point she has a quirk, unlimited tears, unlimited.
And the guy and the boy that was complaining this entire time of not wanting to stay is holding the umbrella for Deku.
Holding the umbrella over him.
And then Bakugo still mean muggy folks. I was like, you know what?
He cleared the path. He cleared the path for his boy. Hey, move.
Yo,
Ida doing the leading, like, "Yo, let's make that truth, let's make through." I was like,
I mean, but like, did you notice?
I've been seeing some hot takes lately about how people are like, Bakugo folded and whatnot. I'm like, does it look like he folded this panel? Like Bakugo is still Bakugo. He's allowed to mature and have growth while still being the hard ass that he is, as can be seen throughout this whole thing. He's still meat mugging people, as if that's gonna help people be like, "Yeah, let me get." I was like, "Oh shit, this guy." Oh my God. Like, you see the guy he's meat mugging is like, "Oh my God."
I mean, so Sam brought up a really good like visualization. Like, look at all of the people who are now holding umbrellas over the heroes.
Yeah.
Multiple people.
Different ages,
if I'm correct,
ages,
if I don't know if it's true, but the person that's apologizing to Momo, I think that was the reporter that was like claiming of Endeavor being like one of the worst.
Potentially, I think so.
And then we have our boy Red Riot. It's like, thank you for like actually an umbrella.
The guy's handing him the umbrella. He's like, "Oh, thanks, bro." Yeah. And then so I have to remember his name because I always forget his name. But our boy with multiple arms. God, what's his name?
Yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah, I can't remember his name.
It starts with the S, I think.
Yeah. What is your name? Shoji.
Shoji.
Yeah, Shoji. Yeah. So like, look at it. Like, and it's because think about how like. Think about how Shoji was also outcasted.
Yeah.
And
it's like to the way he looks.
Because he's also a heteromorph.
He's always lived with that too.
And it was another heteromorph that like gave him the umbrella over
exactly. Exactly. And I'm like, oh, look at y'all supporting each other too.
Look at his eyes in that chapter.
Exactly.
Like he looks so surprised.
And like also like, wow, okay, people can care about me and not care about how I look.
I also realized that Kaminari slapped Bakugo in the back of the head. That's why he's been over like that.
Yeah.
I just looking back, I was like, oh wait, he got slapped in the back of the head.
It's about time. I was like, hey, stop me mugging, boy. He's like, stop being a dick. It's like this ain't the time to be a dick, Bakugo. Relax. So So that was amazing because you never see anybody do Bakugo like that. Besides his mom. Besides his mom.
Right?
By the way, where is his mom?
Hey,
Where's she at?
She's not.
I mean,
at
at
she
UA,
like he'll take care
right?
of it.
I hope
Probably.
so. I don't know. Where's his mom at?
If not UA, she strikes me as the type is like, look.
Who knows? It's not like it's important, but I do want to see my wife. Where's she at?
Hey. And then the next page after that, we get Endeavor and Todoroki. And they're like, Todoroki's like,
Shoto
They did.
saying
Father.
Father, we have to do this.
He didn't
together.
say Endeavor. He said Father.
That hit me so hard, bro. And he's like, yeah.
And then Endeavor's like, yeah, I'm gonna cry now because you called me dad, but also I know why you called me dad. Oh no.
Yeah.
Because remember, like Endeavor was still trying to like leave Shoto out of it because of what they were trying to do with.
He was trying. He was trying, but we know that ain't gonna happen. Yeah, bro. We have to do this together. And then the flash of Toya. I'm like, because that means that's coming back soon, bro. It's coming back soon. Oh my god!
How soon though? Because do you think we're finally getting like some closure with Deku now? And
I think this
finally move on.
Well, I think like they said it, like let him come and rest up a bit. He doesn't have to come here and like put up his feet, but let him come back and like get ready to go back out and help us.
So what do you think? What do you think we cut to first? Do you think we cut to ALawal first? Do you think we go straight to Endeavor, Shoto, and
not to cut ahead, but I think we're going to Toga next. Because at the very end of the chapter, we see
they're cautious. They're cautious about her.
They're cautious about her, and they talk about her specifically. And then we see All Might walking away from the school. Why would All Might be walking away from the school? I don't think that's All Might. I think that's Toga.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
I think Toga.
You're definitely right.
And I said this pre-show too, and now it makes me wonder if that was really Stain that we saw. Blood? Well, is that really Stain that we saw?
I mean, I'm thinking Toga was with Stain, potentially.
Remember several chapters while Stain was in the background while Deku went away and it was just All Might by himself? Yeah. All Might been by himself for a hot minute.
But do you think that she heard the speech then?
That's why I'm assuming she's walking away.
Yeah.
I mean, Uraraka was on a megaphone, so anybody who was standing close enough would have heard it.
Yeah, probably would if outside the door, because even Endeavor, Shoto, and Hawks was able to hear it. So
yeah, I definitely think that's the case. But it's like my question is, how did she get that much of All Might's blood?
I mean, she didn't need a lot.
From where?
She didn't need a lot.
That's what I'm saying. Like maybe that wasn't Stain at the end of that chapter. Maybe that was Toga as Stain.
James, our boy's coughing up blood constantly.
Yeah, he is. That's true. He fragile. He's fragile.
He's
getting blood from his ears.
I mean, he's missing organs.
That's true. Yeah. So I'm like, I think that's Toga because like, why would All Might run off like that after hearing such an inspiring speech that really gives him no blame whatsoever? If anything, that just would have made him feel better. To see them growing and doing what he couldn't do, I also think that Uraraka's speech was put on TV. Someone had a video recorded that whole speech. Cameron, you're right.
Oh, definitely.
I think you're right.
Someone definitely recorded it. It's
definitely
streaming.
I mean, everybody has phones, bro. They always got phones out when something like this happens.
Even rain or shine, it's gonna be someone on the phone.
But another thing too is that possibly because we also know that
they're
All Might
researching.
feels such big guilt about this situation, guilt towards Deku. Maybe he's walking away because he realizes like, yo, there's something that I can't
forgive myself or something that
we also know he still feel guilty about Shigaraki.
Well, that doesn't make sense. I feel like he would be the one to go up and like he would also want to apologize. He would be up there trying to apologize to Deku.
I feel like he
why would he? Yes, he does. He does.
It could be in a private setting. He doesn't need to be on show and display for everybody. Because at the same time, look.
Think about the moment though. This was a moment where I feel like it would have been.
But then when All Might pulls up too, he distracts from that moment.
This is why I'm saying that All Might ain't gonna get. They gonna have to go get All Might, and they ain't gonna make it. Is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, no.
He ain't gonna make it because they have. Listen. The villains have no use for All Might except to lure Deku out. That's it.
That's it.
They literally the only use for All Might is literally basically saying, hey, we got the hostage. They don't need him for nothing. except for like a hostage situation. Let's be real. They kill All Might now. I'm telling you, ain't nobody gonna be sad but the heroes. Because All Might's already dead.
Yeah. The
We got
symbol
Toshinori.
is no more.
Exactly. We have Toshinori now.
Only
So,
Deku cares as much as anybody else.
Yep. Well, Deku and his classmates, straight up, because he's been a teacher to them. So.
And
that's
still an idol and mentor, especially to Bakugo.
Exactly.
We realized we
Exactly.
learned early on how much Bakugo looked up to All Might as well.
Mm-hmm.
Bakugo idolized
All Might damsel in
almost as
distress.
much as
Yeah, Merc.
Deku.
Absolutely. All Might damsel in distress about to be a real thing. Straight up.
I
We have not seen that a single time, really. We've seen him kind of like had to get like out of the way to get help, but he ain't been kidnapped. This will be the first time. Which I'm surprised it took this long, to be honest. Hey, I got your teacher, bro. What you gonna do? I've been waiting on that. That's a usual trope we get all the time.
It would more from state
It's happening in the
side
Oscar right now.
Because All for One no
Yeah.
longer cares about it, All Might anymore. And he said
It's not that
Yeah.
they don't care. It's just that he literally can't do anything for them.
Yeah.
And that's why they don't. That's why it's like, okay,
Well,
well, you physically
I
can't do
mean-
anything for us.
All for One got an upgrade, baby. He like, hey,
He
yo,
did.
I got a
He
new
got an
body.
upgrade.
The
I got a new
upgrade.
quirk too. Yeah. And it's like, so I mean, Toshinori, you can't fight
Decay is
me
the
like that
perfect
no
quirk
more.
for a demon king.
I could probably capture you.
Especially with how it's evolved. Like low
mean,
key, this is the version of Awakening, similar to One Piece. This is the awakening of a quirk. My man doesn't need to touch one thing; he can mass scale destruction.
I mean, listen, bro. We got a little bit of a. If you're watching anime, you got a little bit of a taste. Just see how he brought down an entire tower with a
Yeah, in
touch.
Sandman's Parade, y'all,
An entire
the whole thing
touch.
came tumbling down.
So I'm like, bro,
Y'all don't understand how
Shigaraki is incredibly powerful. Like Shigaraki has like actual like natural disaster abilities. Like he wide scale destruction by himself. That's why this is terrifying. This is legitimately terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, by the way, yeah, if I see anybody comparing Uraraka to Sakura, you catching a hot block. Block. I ain't even gonna say that.
Seriously,
block.
seriously. Because that's just
And yes,
ignorant.
this is over something trivial, but that's stupid.
I mean, what's the comparison?
I don't even like the comments about Sakura because she's not useless.
I mean, like just say
Could
you
she
don't
have
like
gotten
just,
more
listen,
development? Could
just
Sakura
say
have done
you don't
more? Of
like
course.
women and move on. That's all you gotta say. Just say you
See,
don't
my
like women,
thing,
move
the
on.
reason I'm not too hype on the Sakura's useless strain is because Kishimoto just doesn't know how to write female characters well.
That too,
he
right?
admitted that.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I can't. Why am I
why don't
taking
you
it out
blame
on
why don't you
Sakura?
blame the author? Exactly.
Yeah, like everybody realizes that Kishimoto, when it comes to women characters, he sucks. He just sucks. He can't develop anyone well enough. So why are we taking that on Sakura? That's is literally not her. It's the mangaka's fault. Like
Right. Like,
he mad at Kishimoto, yo. It's him. It's so ridiculous. So that's why I did. But even then, it's like, what is Sakura and Ochaka? Like, there's no similarity to me. Like, because they have an interest in that MC or in one of the major characters? Is that how far the similarities are? Is that what we're hyping on? Is it the fact that Ochaka has a crush on one of the major characters? Is that why people are making the comparison?
Like I said, it's a
know.
very shallow and like, you know, I can understand the people who are memeing because like, haha, they're making fun of the people who really think that. But like, there are
it's
people
like,
who just
she has pink hair.
yeah.
That's the comparison.
She has pink hair and she didn't get an Omega level transformation like the other two characters.
I mean, I know Ochaka's been kind of like, she hasn't been as present.
Now, when you say present, she hasn't done but I think what it is she hasn't done all the shonen bullshit that everybody likes to see.
Right, because the moment that she has in this chapter, I would argue is an enormous hero moment.
What she just did
dialogue.
literally turned the hearts and minds of the people, which is
what a hero is supposed to do.
Exactly.
Right?
Not only that, she did it for the people and the heroes, bro. The ones who were doubting themselves, who wanted to give up. She just saved
she's
them.
been there.
Yeah.
Like again,
And
going
we're
back
not
to what
done.
inspired her.
Oh no,
we
just
still have
started.
the final battle. There's still more stuff to do. We will see more of all of their quirk evolutions.
Mhm.
So, you know,
And I
patient.
hate to be that guy. I do not care about quirk evolutions. I care about character growth. Because think about it. If I get my character growth, you also get your what? Quirk growth. Because the quirk is the
Well,
person.
that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Okay. I'm just saying. But like, there's so many people online. I'm like, I can't wait to see such get stronger.
Yeah, evolution to the point where she could like touch like a building and she's able to lift.
I don't give a damn.
Right?
I'm like, just let Uraraka I just want to see her whooping ass. Like, she don't have to be like, her quirk didn't have to be incredible, but there's something that actually came up in this last episode of the anime where you have to remember, Ochako, like, her equipment is heavy as hell. She's constantly using her quirk to keep it comfortable for her to use. Do people forget that? Like
Obviously.
they basically say, "Oh wow, Uraraka, your stuff is heavy as hell." She's like, "Oh yeah, there's steel wire fibers in my gauntlets." And I'm like, did y'all? Uraraka is not just Uraraka just ain't some casual. I'm just here to help. No, Uraraka's a hero, and she is pretty.
It's just her role is being used
on her
very
own.
differently, like you mentioned, very differently than people are used to.
Exactly, and that's why I love Uraraka. Uraraka's a fantastic character, and I think that by the time this is over, people will finally understand that, or they won't, and I won't care.
But JB, so I just want to touch upon your original question. I find it very, very interesting. It's literally the last page, when Aizawa is like, "Oh, then UA really is our stronghold, and it's time for payback."
So from what I
And
picked
it's
out from
like,
was
yes, of
was
course.
on the previous page. From what we knew what Aizawa was doing. He was resting. He was speaking to Kurogiri every day to try to
Every day.
Trying.
He
just
wants his
to-
friend back, bro.
because to try and find the breakthrough of
His only
inspiration
friend. He wants him back.
to break apart the Nomo Kurogiri.
See if they can reverse it.
That was really important.
Mm-hmm.
That was super
that's how you
important.
do a payback. It's literally like neutralizing the Nomus to go back to their whatever human or whatever the
I
pre-form.
also saw it as like, yo, now that we have a stronghold and we are the ultimate stronghold, we have to go on the offensive.
Well, they know that we can't just wait now, and that's why I feel like the system that the principal created is so damn impressive. So that they could be on the offensive, but also be defensive at the same time.
Exactly.
That's a great team.
Yeah, isn't that what he explained too when he first told him about the functioning?
He's like, we basically understand how powerful our enemy is, but we also just have to be able to move at a moment's notice to keep them off their game.
So this payback is going. I mean,
So,
I don't think
really,
that
if
we dive
anything,
straight into
the wall is
offensive.
just a lure. It's like Shigaraki's, all for one's gonna see a wall. It's like I should tear that down, and like the wall doesn't matter. it's there for preliminary
bonus
defense.
inside.
Yeah.
Every like I don't know what I'll just say acre for the time. Every acre is independent. It can move on its own on the whole elevator system. And
I can't wait for
miles.
The principal absolutely has a mech. I don't care what nobody says. He got if he don't pull up and say, "Hey, y'all go, I got this," and he pulls out, and part of the UA turns into a mech.
Oh my
Or
goodness!
Koshi.
I mean, I'm here for
Come
it.
on.
I'm never gonna say no to a
Or
mech.
Koshi, I need this, please. I need this.
Oh
need
my
this.
goodness!
So
Mech.
I was gonna say what Cameron said. Kogoro wasn't in Tartarus. Well, remember, All for One no longer needs a lot of the people that works for him. He didn't need Gigamakia, and I'm pretty sure he didn't need Kurogiri no more.
Well, I think what Cameron's trying to say is, so like, how did they get Kurogiri if he was in Tartarus? So does that mean that he wasn't in Tartarus and he was just in a different place being held?
Yeah, I don't think he was ever in Tartarus.
Yeah, I think you might be right because they had to move him. It's like if we're able to wake him up from inspiration.
Yeah, that means they probably did move him when they were like, Aizawa wants to talk to him. They want to have a breakthrough, and then they did have that minor breakthrough. They moved him to like basically a place where they can easily access him. Is what I would hope.
Okay.
So, yeah. Man, imagine if All for One was just standing outside clapping. Great speech, so moving.
I would love that, actually.
Wouldn't that be wild?
How am I gonna break them next time?
Because I mean, what do you do at that point, right?
Yeah.
Deku's beaten to shit. He can't
Uh-huh.
do anything. Like class 1A is not strong enough yet. So like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know, bro. Like I love what I love what Horikoshi is doing. This chapter was great. Where are we going next? I literally don't know. I would like to think that this was a very solid break point for the heroes to now transition to something else entirely. Because we know he's done it before. We all see My Hero Academia, so it's like, what are we about to get? Because he does a really good job of like telling both sides of his story.
He does.
Mm-hmm.
He does.
So
I'm excited to, like you mentioned right beforehand, we'll probably go into the villains. Next,
I hope we leave with Toga. I really hope that this is we leave with Toga like rectifying what she's seen, what she's heard, and like trying to process it all and where she ends up. That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Because a hero killed her friend. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So anybody have last thoughts for My Hero? I think we covered almost everything.
Okay, I will say this. I know the TL has been complaining about the anime for a while, and you look, I'm the type of person, once I start reading a manga, I usually drop the anime just because, like, I like to be current.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the last episode of My Hero that I watched was the Endeavor versus the Nomu fight, right? That ended the previous season. Was that season 4? Right after the overall.
4.
Yeah.
4.
So Saturday, for the first time of season 5, I watched Sadman's Parade. Now, mind you, that chapter came out, like a year and a half ago, maybe?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
2 years ago?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Look, the emotions I felt reading the manga, I was reminded again watching this episode. So I don't know what exactly it is that people are really complaining about. I'm not an animation elitist, so maybe I just don't realize. To me, I kind of take it. The only time I have issue with animation is when there's a lot of CG involved. Dog, the gravity of the situation was so well caught. Twice, it reminded me of how much I actually missed Twice, yo. Twice was a great
it made me really sad because Twice was an incredible character.
Yeah. I don't know what people are complaining about. He was
the perfect example.
Cut all that.
Like luck was never on your side from beginning.
Yeah, he just had a lot of bad luck. A lot of bad interactions with bad people.
And then
could you imagine if they could have rehabilitated him?
Right?
The asset he could have been.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it would have been the villains taking him out.
Keep in mind, in that episode, without Twice, Shigaraki and gang, they lose. They needed Twice.
I have to know then, because that quirk is very useful. Did they copy his quirk?
Oh, that'd be scary.
That'd be very scary, actually.
Because, why wouldn't they? Did they copy his quirk?
Why
and they've just been waiting to use it.
Maybe.
Yeah, there's no way that the doctor didn't see the value in having a quirk like that.
Because even Hawk saw he can make clones of the other Nomus and their destruction.
Which is why Hawks had to kill him.
Well, that's the unfortunate truth there. He saw that he had made his choice based on where he was and who accepted him. Mm-hmm. He was true to his own because they accepted him. Mm-hmm. And Hawks literally at that point his hands were tied straight up.
And that episode did a great job. Look, guy was unlucky as hell, right? No one he could trust except himself. And then even then, he couldn't even trust himself.
Mm-hmm.
So all in all, people who complain about the anime, especially those who read the manga, I need y'all annoying me. Y'all.
Dude, they like complaining. They think it makes them look cool.
What did we say earlier? They don't go on the internet to have conversations. They go on the internet to talk.
Yeah,
I wonder if we were to tweet positively on the episode of our favorite parts and what makes it go, we're gonna have all these people come at us.
I don't give a damn. If they want to smoke, they can come.
Yeah.
Hey.
Because I actually come with actual arguments and facts.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
by the way, I don't care. I'm calling dibs on Fox Girl. I'm just gonna do it.
I
saw another panel. No.
This shit was 23.
No. You said I'm holding off. You said I'm holding off, and so I'm taking it.
No. I said I called dibs as long as she's 23 or over.
It's too late. I'm calling it. I confirm.
How is it too late? Wait, you confirmed their age?
No, I'm just gonna take it.
If she was under-
This is me taking the
I
risk.
hope she's 17.
Wow! Wow!
That way she can grow up and on her own and find the love of her own life.
The risk is worth it here. Mark gets it. I'm risking it for the yams, bro. I'm risking it.
I am so upset. I am so upset.
You should have threw caution to the wind, son of Darkseid.
Well, I mean, he realized his mistake the first time, though.
Yeah, I can't have 2 L's like that on my record. I can't have 2 L's.
This is an L that I'm willing to take. If it comes to that, this is the L that I'll take. I'll take it. No.
The Grail one was a massive L.
That was hilarious.
I can't just can't be 2 for 2 like that. Can't do it.
Yeah, I'm doing it for the yams.
Oh, God.
But guys,
and she's tall too. She like
I know.
probably like 6'5", 6'6", maybe.
I mean, he's already like literally lift Deku as a child like there. Like, damn.
Yeah, boy.
I don't care how tall she is. I'll still knock that shit down.
That's right.
Oh,
Tell him,
my
James.
goodness.
Tell him, James.
Horikoshi, can you hit us with an age so I can
Right? Can we get like a
ridicule?
side panel, just like, you know, birthday, you know, all that stuff.
Favorite food.
Favorite food,
Where she likes to go.
Does she like flowers?
You know, exactly.
But-
Like
but-
flowers.
favorite manga.
By the time the
Yeah.
anime comes out and then the whole middle
favorite
screen.
color.
Horikoshi, what's
blood
her
type.
favorite comic?
Mhm.
That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know.
I need to know, but no, I'm done. No, like I said, I was like, I'm risking it. I'm risking it for the biscuit, baby. I'm risking it.
Oh my goodness.
All right, guys. That was our last thoughts. I think our usual is what was our favorite chapter of the week for this issue of Weekly Shonen Jump.
Easily Dr. Stone for me, because where we're at right now, whoo, boy, this current arc, what their goal is aiming to, hey, it's time. It's time. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm excited. I love Dr.
I
Stone.
have to go with My Hero because this is to me what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting on this. Not that it had the best action or the best art. Like I just been waiting on this story. I've been waiting on this. As much as I love Red Hood, good God, I love Red Hood. This
Chapters.
is exactly what I wanted. I'm very happy with this. So, yep, My Hero for me.
Yeah, it's gonna be My Hero for me too, man. It just hit on too many different levels. Just like Deku just realizing that he can rely on his friends, watching Uraraka make that speech, talking to the people stop being afraid and trying to help the heroes so that they can rest and do the jobs that they need to do. Like the setup with Aizawa on what he's going to be doing next. Like there's just so much going on in this chapter. This is definitely chapter of the week for me.
I agree with you guys. My Hero literally takes the top out of it. Everything else were like nice icing on the cake. Red Hood was a nice different chocolate flavor of ice cream. My Hero is literally the entire sundae in itself. Undead Unluck was actually really good too. Like knowing about Top's past story and learning of Unstoppable and having a whole Speed Force kind of thing.
By next episode, I'll be caught up on Undead Unluck.
Hey.
You have the whole. For Mashle, you have the whole Goku versus Gaara kind of situation.
Goku, because Sam said he was like, "Oh, it's Rock Lee versus Gaara." I'm like, "Bro, Rock Lee wishes." I'm like, "That's Goku."
That's true. That's actually really true. And then you put Dobby in a. You put the Dobby.
Bro, it was Dobby. I laughed so hard. He was like, "You would do that for me?" Dobby is free.
Oh,
Dobby is free.
And I hated Dobby, really. That's the one part of Harry Potter. I hate Dobby. I shed no tears.
I also did not. Sorry.
I mean, I didn't either, but I was like, "Oh no!"
I was like, "Thank goodness!"
Oh wow, you are a monster.
It's just like, oh, we finally got him up out of the paint.
For
You
me,
are
it was
a
like,
monster.
okay, more screen time for things that I actually care about.
Yeah! We got two monsters. God.
Oh my goodness.
We are a
dog.
council of villains.
Yeah.
And then watch Vash chime in.
Oh,
Yeah, man,
not you refer me to Son of Darkseid, and now you surprised.
Listen. There's got to be balance, all right?
Look, I'm like in Denver. I'm going to the extreme already.
Oh my God. I can't wait for the episode of Villains when you show up in your overcoat and your hat. I'm so sorry.
I need to get me one in a trench coat too. You know what? I'm gonna be in the market for one. I gotta pull up an episode like that.
Oh my God.
My goodness. Yeah. Nah,
But no, I love doing this with y'all. I appreciate y'all for being here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. man.
I also
Another
recommend
good week of
Spy
great
Family
stuff.
too. Spy Family was actually really good as well.
I'm so behind.
Actually, the
I'll
anime
catch up.
is on its way too, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Is it?
That
Been announced for an
got
anime, yeah.
confirmed too.
Oh, then I'll watch that. I'll watch it.
It's most likely it's gonna come out next year. Like definitely not like
I mean,
Yeah,
fall.
Mappa's doing it, right? Or am I making that up?
What?
I don't know. Actually, I don't think so.
I think that's my head making it up. Don't pay attention. to me.
I don't think so.
I guess because I think Mappa would do an incredible job with Spy Family's animation.
I might pick up the manga soon.
It's really good, bro.
Yeah.
So you haven't read any of it?
No, I haven't read any of Spy
Oh,
Family.
shit.
Oh, you're gonna
So
enjoy Spy
good.
Family. Definitely
Really
recommend in
good.
the chat. Definitely recommend for you, Abe. Spy Family is really good.
Okay. I'll pick it up.
But yeah, other than that, Manga Channel's cute. Candy Flare is getting canceled in 2 chapters, no doubt. But other than that,
I
guys.
wasted how many weeks with that one? I'm so rude.
But yeah, guys. I think we're good. Can you guys give us your plugs?
Yes, sir.
James,
Yes,
Ray.
sir. You know what it is. The son of Darkseid, Laburu himself, Anikulapo. You know where my link tree is. It's in the description. But follow me on Twitter at Prince_ALawal. That is Prince_ALawal. Same thing on Twitch. Also an A podcast. That's what I'm a part of. Inside the Mind of a Blurred. Anime lately, obviously. Careful for spoilers. Definitely go and follow Spicy Lady Gaming on Twitch. SpicyLadyEnt on Twitter. I as per usual, I love everything I do. I love being involved with so many different projects, so many different brands, and especially all their visions, while being similar, also very unique too. And I get to just enjoy what I love the most, you know. Careful for spoilers, especially. I'm back on my comics wave, baby. Like yesterday, I just read King in Black, and then I was like, let me go back to Maximum Carnage, because everybody always quotes Maximum Carnage, the writers and whatnot, especially as they work on Extreme Carnage. Right now, I'm letting Extreme Carnage build up, but I'm starting to read Maximum Carnage from the 90s. I love comics, and so thank you very much, JB, for getting me back on that wave once again.
Yeah, man, appreciate you, B.
Look at
Next
James,
month,
you know, pushing that comic agenda, baby.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to be back with where I
Yeah,
started.
dude.
You
And
know,
movies
comics
next
is where I
month
started
too.
off.
The Carnage movies next month as well.
Is it really next month?
I don't really care.
I mean, I still haven't seen the Venom movie, bro. I
don't.
Ain't seen
You
it.
know,
I mean,
I
get to it
need
whenever.
some more direction. Yeah, when you know,
It's not gonna
when-
change your life or anything.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, if they happen to be playing upon the storyline of Maximum Carnage, Absolute Carnage, you know, maybe
They're not. They're definitely not.
Yeah, I mean, I might do it if they you know plan to have Venom and Secret Wars. I'll play on that. But at this
Sony's
point,
not that clever.
They're not.
Their team is not that clever. They're
No.
not doing.
I trust Marvel and Disney to revamp Venom. So when they revamp Venom, you know, we'll see. But
Revamp
hey,
the
you know who
Fantastic
it is.
Four first. So
Oh
whatever.
yeah. So you know how to get in contact with me. I love talking all thing. I love talking sports. It's college football season and NFL season again, baby. So I'll be tweeting about sports. I'll be tweeting about comics for sure. I'll be tweeting about anime, manga, everything under the sun. We can talk about whatever. So y'all know how to find me. Appreciate being here as per usual, and y'all take care for sure.
James.
Yeah, you guys can follow me all over social media at JBXclusive. If you want to see really, really amazing panels from the comics that I'm reading, like right now I'm reading Immortal Hulk. Read that if you haven't. It's an incredible run. Still going on.
Love it. Oh my God, I love the Immortal Hulk.
Make sure you're subscribed to Careful for Spoilers on YouTube. Tomorrow, we're actually going to be doing a live spoilers open discussion on Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Go to carefulforspoilers.com, find links to the merch store, Patreon, all of the other podcasts on the Seafresh Podcast Network. Check us out over there.
Ray.
Well, I can't wait to check out that spoiler discussion because there's one thing that I want to yell about in particular, and it has nothing to do with the movie, but about anime, and that's fine. So, yeah, you can find me. I'm RayApollo, RayApollo, everywhere. Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Come check it out. The mini reviews for every chapter that I went out today should be trickling out slowly this evening. So there'll be one for Masher, there'll be one for Red Hood, there'll be one for JJK, there'll be one for My Hero. They're all going to trickle out slowly this evening. I've really taken to liking to do it that way because it gives me time to talk about stuff I want to do, and they're short, and I don't have to edit anything. It's great. So, yep. Check out everybody here. Don't forget Vash and Spicy. We missed them today, but they out there. So
Vash was here in the beginning. Interrupting
Sam?
us late, but yeah.
Take us home, baby.
Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoy. Remember to like the video if you guys enjoy our discussions of all the Shonen Ronin, all this weekly Shonen of mangas this week. This entire Sunday, including the Thursday of Kaiju number 8. We will be back next week with the full list again with Kaiju number 8, My Hero Academia, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Return of Black Clover. And probably also, hopefully, from Masho, maybe. We'll see. We'll have to find out. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, because we need your subscriber, we need your support. We are 3/4 of the year already, but who knows? We still seek subscribers. We still want you guys to subscribe to the channel, support us, help us build the views, as well as this also is going to be on podcast too, onto iTunes. Please give us that 5 stars review and write us a note, and we will shout you out, tell you a report, give you credit and everything. If you give us a 1 star, we're gonna have to roast you. We're gonna have to.
I'm just gonna call your credit card company and tell them to lower your credit score.
Hey. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed our discussion. Hope you guys was great. Have a good day. Peace.